When you are quiet, the enemy speaks. When you declare, the enemy becomes quiet. The accuser and the avenger are silenced. The judgment of that sickness over your life is silenced the moment you open your mouth. You know what your mountain is. You don't need anyone to tell you. You can see the mountain for yourself from afar. You know what your mountain is. But if you think from a logical mindset, Jesus said, say to the mountain, and the mountain will be uprooted. Now this sounds so illogical. Hear this. Just because it is illogical in this realm doesn't mean it is illogical in the spiritual realm. There's a realm that moves things through spoken words. It's a different technology, so it looks illogical here, but you hear thousands upon thousands of testimonies of people who got healed and uprooted their mountains simply by speaking. An incurable disease. The doctor said it is impossible, but the Lord said, with me all things are possible. So I am going to say this, and then all of you will begin to speak to your mountains. And you will keep saying it until every single mountain is uprooted. Now the question comes up, why do we have to say it over and over again? Can I tell you the truth? Because we don't mean what we say. For years we have spoken so many idle words, so our heart doesn't truly believe what we are speaking with our mouth. Imagine you are 2 hours away, and someone calls you and asks, where are you? You reply, I'm reaching in 15 minutes. Your heart knows you don't mean what you say. This isn't even about God yet. Hear this. This morning as I was preparing this, the Lord taught me that words not energized by your heart are powerless. Words that travel straight from your mind to your mouth, without your heart backing them up, are powerless. For words to carry the power of God, you have to believe them first. 2 Corinthians 4:13 says, and since we have the same spirit of faith, according to what is written, I believed and therefore I spoke, and we also believe and therefore speak. The spirit that was hovering over the waters in the very beginning is the spirit of faith. We have that exact same spirit, so what are you worried about? God gave himself to you. You are the carrier of that spirit. You have the same spirit of faith. So, is just speaking enough? Some people say, I've been making declarations for 2 months, and nothing is happening. That happens because you still don't value the words you speak. You lie so easily in everyday life. And please understand my heart. I am not trying to condemn you, but I am showing you that your heart is confused because it knows you don't mean what you say. Someone walks up to you and says, hey man, you're my best friend. And then behind their back, you complain about how annoying they were. When you live a double life, your spiritual authority decreases. The book of James tells us that a mature, perfect person is someone who has learned to bridle their tongue. One day I was praying and saying, Jesus, I want to see more people healed. I want to see more miracles. What should I do? Jesus said, mean what you say. The problem is that for years, what we say with our mouth and what is actually inside our heart do not match. Most people are double-minded and they don't even realize it. When they make a declaration like, by his stripes I am healed, their second mind kicks in and says, well, let's see, if it happens, but the doctor already gave up. What is happening? Their heart still doesn't believe what they are saying will actually come to pass. When they declare, they use the name of Jesus, but in their double mind, they are thinking, I don't know what will happen. The doctors already gave up. They don't mean what they say. There is a classic story about a town experiencing a severe drought. The entire church gathered to pray for rain, but only one little kid brought an umbrella. Everyone looked at the child and asked, why did you bring an umbrella? It's not even raining. That is what real faith looks like. You must actually believe what you ask for. Otherwise, it is just a religious routine. Are you getting this? I believed, therefore I spoke. That is how the spirit of faith functions. When your words are not energized by your heart, when they aren't marinated in your conviction, and you're just speaking from the top of your head. Instead of deep within your spirit, it doesn't work. But here is the good news about why declarations actually work for people. Today I want to explain the technology behind it. Look at people who refuse to quit. They filled entire notebooks writing it down over and over again. By his stripes I am healed. They kept speaking it notebook after notebook. Romans 10:8 says, the word is near you in your mouth and in your heart. The word has to be in your mouth first, and then it goes down into your heart. When you are first confessing the word, you are confessing toward faith. But once the word gets deep into your heart, you are confessing from a place of faith. That is why people ask, why do we need to repeat it over and over again? Otherwise, your words are just empty and idle. Jesus defined idle words as words that lack the spiritual capacity to bring forth what they were sent to accomplish. So we are going to practice this. If you are looking for a miracle, if the doctor gave you a bad report, you have to be absolutely convinced. If this is the truth I'm standing on, I will not undo it with my own negative words. There is a classic story about a town experiencing a severe drought.